When I was studying psychology at Brooklyn College, I never would have imagined I would have the chance to meet you in person, let alone be a speaker at the Heroes Roundtable. I'm excited to share with you all my journey and teach you a self-defense technique that could save your life. But I want to start by telling you about the most valuable self-defense lesson ever. This one lesson changed the way I understood awareness. If we look at the 4 levels of awareness, we have the white level, which is oblivious. So you're sleeping or you're walking and texting. And we have the yellow level, which is generally aware. The orange level, which is detecting a change in your environment, possibly a threat. And finally, the red level, or the red zone, which is fight mode. I spent most of my life in the red zone. Hyper aware, fearful, panicking all the time, and not enjoying life much at all. Especially walking to my college classes where street thugs always let me know they wanted to F me up my A, even when I was wearing baggy sweats on purpose, which made me look like the thug once I got to class. So I immersed myself in the martial arts, in fighting all the time, and so the red zone became my normal state of mind, which is not healthy or fun on a first date. It's true. I did not feel prepared. I felt panicked, and it clouded my mind. And so after training in the traditional martial arts of Tang Soo Do for over 13 years and other styles like Krav Maga and American boxing, I first flew from New York to LA to take model mugging, when I learned that the name came from Albert Bandura's work on role model mastery to alleviate the fear of flying or snakes. The class was originally called Role Model Mastery to alleviate the fear of getting mugged or raped, but the students quickly shortened the name. In the final hour of the full weekend course, my male instructor put on 60 pounds of body armor, and I experienced my first full-force fight scenario. Full-force training means no holding back, in the same psychological, mental, and physical state that you are in during a real attack. I believed I was fighting for my life, and when I won, all the panic, all the suspense, all those years of fearing the unknown were lifted from my spirit, and I was free. So I became a model mugging instructor and later flew back to San Francisco to train with the founder. Day 1 of training, I woke up with my adrenaline pumping. The red zone. I couldn't wait to hit the training floor and start sparring against my sensei, a warrior who fought in an orphanage in Japan when he was 4, was adopted by an American military family where he fought on the streets until he was 13, when he started training in the martial arts, eventually earning 9 black belts in 9 different styles, expert ratings in pistols, rifles, shotguns, and has survived real-world bodyguarding and combat experience on all 7 continents. With his combined 63 years of street fighting and martial arts experience, he was going to kick my butt. I just hoped I survived, and I couldn't wait. Used to the red zone. But we never set foot on a training mat that day. Instead, my sensei handed me a camera, gave me a quick photography lesson, and he drove us to Twin Peaks. And he opened the car door and he told me, "Go, search for beauty." Just like that. But my expression said, I didn't fly 3,000 miles with my hard-earned money that should be paying off my massive student loans to go sightseeing. Let's do some training, attack me. Which is exactly what I was thinking, but I said, "Yes, sir." And I started exploring and taking pictures. And it felt amazing. I started to get into it right away. And taking pictures actually enhanced the way I was experiencing the amazing views. And other tourists around me were taking pictures too, except a group of street guys who were hanging out near a road exit towards the city. Their backs were turned to the overlook, and their eyes were on everybody else's cameras and purses. And I noticed them, and then I noticed my sensei silently slip between those guys and me with his back turned to me. And when we got back to the car, he asked me, "Did you get good shots?" I said, "Yes, I think I'm a professional photographer now." Then he asked, "Did you notice that group of men who were scoping out tourists to rob?" And I said, "Yes, I noticed them immediately, but surprisingly, those guys didn't take away from the wonderful experience. I was aware, but without fear." And then he said to me, When we search for the beauty in life, the ugliness sticks out like a sore thumb. Once ugliness sticks out, we avoid it, and then we resume our search for beauty. This is the most valuable self-defense lesson that I've ever learned. And if you're wondering why he didn't report those guys to the police, he told me that the purpose of the police is to arrest a suspect after a crime occurs. Those young men had not committed a crime yet. The purpose of a bodyguard or a self-defense instructor is to prevent crime from happening to his client through avoidance, deterrence, and only as a last resort, the use of physical force. My sensei trains his clients to become their own bodyguards and has a record of clients 109, stalkers 0. In 1968, he was a student of Phil Zimbardo's at Stanford, where he learned to overcome cognitive dissonance, or two conflicting thoughts existing in our brain at the same time. When teaching self-defense, we want to be loving, caring people, but if we cross paths with evil, we deal with it, and then return to being loving, caring people. When my sensei did an analysis of 3,000 assaults against women, he found that the sexual assault rate was 1 in 3. 1 in 4 will be stalked, mostly by exes. 1 in 4 will be victims of domestic abuse, and worst of all, 80% of female murder victims are by exes. We as women must acknowledge these threats and become our own heroines. The video clip that you're about to watch is of 2 model mugging students, 14 and 19 years old, who became their own heroines through self-defense.
This demonstration, 14-year-old Paris Williams is a graduate of the model mugging program. When 4 men jumped her on the way home from school, Williams believes model mugging lessons saved her life.
They came at me. One of them came at me, and I ended up fighting them off.
You fought off 4 guys?
Yeah.
How?
They took one by one. They didn't all come at me at once.
Tina Forbes recalls what happened after she took model mugging and was confronted by a stalker.
I went in, I grabbed hold of the knife, and I pulled it away from him. And I wound up kicking him in 4-inch spiked heels and knocking him out. He was in the hospital for several weeks. He was in a...
All right. Yes. Model mugging has been constantly evolving for almost 50 years because our students' lives depend on the validity of what we teach them. Now you're going to watch me getting attacked with various weapons. So you can see why when Phil requested a live demonstration of those moves, I opted for showing a video clip as opposed to doing it wearing these shoes. But since 80% of assailants are unarmed, here's a model mugging student defending herself.
Sure is a dangerous neighborhood I'm in by myself here. I hope somebody in 60 pounds worth of protective gear doesn't come up behind me and scare me because I'm a helpless woman and I can't defend myself. No! 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 I pity the fool!
We can change the way that we handle fear and thrive in stressful situations. Please raise your hand if you know what fear feels like. I was feeling it just before I got on stage. Fear, like when someone grabs you, makes your whole body freeze as your muscles tense up, unable to move. Your heart starts beating faster, you start sweating, your mind panics, and it all happens in 1 second. But we can learn to break this mental and physical paralysis and use it as fuel. Start by asking yourselves one question. Why am I worth protecting? I ask every student to answer this, and the 2 answers that I hear more than anything else are 1, because I'm not done. And I know that all of you are here right now supporting Phil's mission to train heroes because you're not done. And 2, because I have kids who love me of family who needs me, people who rely on me. I have to protect myself to be here for the people I love. And that fire that you feel when you're fighting for somebody that you love is one of the most profound human experiences. Our students are not invincible, and we don't know what we don't know. But of the known, 1 in 77 women who were attacked after our training versus 1 in 3 untrained women, 80% were able to use only their voice and their stance to deter their assailants, the lioness roar, which is what I'm going to teach you right now. So let's learn to train ourselves to become lionesses and lions when faced with fear. Please stand up if you can. Colin Pittenrig's work on human communication showed that only 7% is from what is said. Our word will be no. On 3, say no in a normal voice. 1, 2, 3. No. Easy. 38% of communication is by meta-communication, tone and volume being the most important. Our breath needs to come from our diaphragm, so hold your belly and say no with me on 3. Oh. Good. Now let's get louder. On 3. 1, 2, 3. No! Great. Now on 3, take 1 small step forward while keeping your hands down by your side. Good. Watch me first, but don't move yet, as I slowly cross my arms up in front of my face like this. Now everybody do it together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Step and hands come up. Great. Now let's combine our body movements with our verbal no. On slowly at first, we're going to step and say no on 3. 1, 2, 3. No. Good. Now get louder and faster. 1, 2, 3. No. Louder. 1, 2, 3. No. Louder. 1, 2, 3. No. Great. Now that you've scared everybody around you and probably yourselves, please smile at each other. Good. Please sit down. It's up to you to continue your hero's journey by taking the full model mugging course. I'll be teaching one in San Francisco this upcoming weekend, and if you want more information on that or upcoming classes in general, you can visit our website or email me. The most important lesson I've ever learned in self-defense is to stay safe while enjoying life. Please close your eyes. Think of a puppy or a child or a kitten that you love. Smile to yourself as you think of playing with them. Take a deep breath and open your eyes and return to the here and now. We've been saying no, but I'd like to end on a yes. Yes to taking the challenge to becoming a hero, and yes to making our lives a search for beauty. On 3, yell yes as loud as you can. 1, 2, 3. Yes! Thank you.
The Hero Roundtables are the global events that ask the question, what is a hero? You've just seen one hero talk. To find more and join the conversation, visit our website or social media.